Happy 4th of July weekend, Metallic Review viewers, and welcome to another installment of Metallic Reviews, the show where I take an honest look at the harder, heavier side of music and give it an honest rating. Today, as we prepare to celebrate our nation's 246th birthday, appropriately enough, we're headed to one of the 13 original colonies for our review. Yes, it's Richmond, Virginia's modern crossover thrash giant, Municipal Waste, and their new one, Electrified Brain, out July 1st on Nuclear Blast. Now, again, this is a band that has helped spearhead the modern crossover thrash movement. What groups like Suicidal Tendencies and DRI did for the subgenre back in the 80s and 90s, Municipal Waste is doing today. So, how'd they do on their latest? Let's find out. Now, anyone seeking anything drastically different from the band's previous output, you could probably go elsewhere. That said, anyone looking for crossover thrash at something of its riffiest might find a home here. Then there are those that may see this album as being somewhere basically in the middle. For me, I can see it from a number of ways. There are definitely riffs here, but some of them don't quite stick like others do. There are a few that are very memorable and fun to jam along with, but then there are others that don't really have a destination. Now, all that doesn't mean the album is bad. Far from it, in fact. I really enjoy the vocal approach on here. Tony Forrest's leads are backed up by guitarist Ryan Waste and bassist Landfill. Their real names Ryan and Joy and Philip Hall. I love the triple barking that is placed at the front and center of each song's mix. Nothing is hidden, though some of the lyrics are a little bit muddled. In any case, the vocals are definitely a highlight of the release here. Another would be the drumming, courtesy of Dave Whitty, who thunders along, tearing up the speed meter, but never really offering anything that's too complex or overly complicated. It's just going to be fun to kind of jump around and mosh to. I also thoroughly enjoyed the second half of the record. Songs like Blood Vessel, Boat Jail, Crank the Heat, and Barreled Rage are exactly what I think of when I think crossover thrash. They're short, they got bursts in them, they're full of energy, and they mix hardcore punk with thrash's best elements perfectly. From the triple barking vocals all the way down to Waste and Nick Polis's twin guitar attack, everything comes together on the entirety of this half of the record. It's fast, it's hard, it's razor sharp in terms of precision. It all just works really well. That's the good. Let's get to some of the things that I didn't really care for as much. The first half of the album had some songs that, while not terrible, didn't really stand up to the others on the release. Right out of the gate, the title track has a few background issues, and Demoralizer follows that up with a little bit of plotting. Now, I enjoyed Grave Dive and Last Crawl, but High Speed Steel and Thermonuclear Protection were just kind of all right. They just really didn't stick with me like other songs on this record did. Another negative on the album was that some of the better ideas took a back seat to some of the stuff that was more upfront. Now, I get that this is a crossover thrash album and people want to hear the noise and they want that mix that's just kind of pounding. Now, that's all well and good, but there are some terrific quirks about this record that kind of fall behind a little more of the stereotypical stuff. For instance, on the track The Bite, there are some In Flames, like early In Flames, melodic, death-esque chord progressions that are somewhat hidden by the vocal track. You have to listen a little bit to hear it, and it's kind of rough that such an excellent quirk is sort of buried in the overall mix. Overall, Municipal Waste have released a good crossover thrash record. It's not fantastic. I don't think it's going to turn any heads very much, but it's still good. It's a good record. Mix-wise, it's solid, and the production values, for the most part, are pretty clean and pretty crisp. The second half of the album I consider to be better than the first, especially when it comes to simple songwriting. I don't think this album is going to be up there in the pantheon of genre greats, but for what it is, it's good. But when you're a modern mainstay in a subgenre, good may not be good enough. I give it a staunch 3.5 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. Click like and do not forget to subscribe for more Metallic reviews. Try to get that subscriber count up there. Next week, we're actually going to be headed to Singapore for some good old grindcore when we examine Wormrot's new album, Hiss. I hope you'll join me. You've been watching Metallic Reviews, where I give honest ratings to honest music. I will see y'all next time.